It's been a while. You set a call with me, and I'm reflecting on our first call together when I took you through an overview and you connected with those younger parts and you had the tears, and that was like the first introduction to your younger self, I think, because you had tried it and it was a little bit challenging. After that, I just noticed you were able to connect with that part of you. Do you remember that?
Yes, I first did it, I think, at the overview, and then the second time was with our call.
Where were you at when you began that process?
It wasn't a should I stay go. Well, the main reasons was the ruptures that I was having with my son, who's 18 now. It was like that was the main thing because it was just crazy. Like we couldn't even have a conversation without both just like clashing and screaming and yelling and crying, and then he took off. So that happened, and then the other one was with my daughter's dad. We just couldn't talk either. The third thing was that the thing that I had a light bulb was somebody that I was seeing told me like, oh, I feel like I have to walk around eggshells around you. And then that was the thing that kind of was like, whoa, because that was like the third person that said that to me. So that's when I started
Third person
realizing
that said, wait a second, I had to walk on eggshells around you, woke you up and said, whoa.
That's how they feel with me. So it was just kind of like, why did he say that too, And that was one of the things. And that's when I ran into your assessment, the attachment style thing. And I was like, oh my God, all of this sounds just like me. How crazy. And then that's when I started diving and stuff.
What was your biggest takeaways or breakthroughs since then?
I just feel all this stuff going on inside of me when something feels like an attack, I guess. And that's usually when I would just react right away instead of getting into my body and trying to see what am I feeling and why.
So you've taken that reaction and it's shifted things. That reactivity has shifted.
Yes.
And so what's been the impact? So what's been your biggest wins since we started?
My biggest wins have been with my son. Our relationship is totally different. He talks to me and tells me everything. And I feel like we're just we have the strongest relationship that we ever had with each other. Yeah, so that's the biggest one. And
I'm just
sorry, I'm a crybaby.
Don't cry. Don't judge yourself for crying. Your tears are welcome. I even just reflexively, based on the conditioning, we say, don't cry, no cry. Crying, tears are allowed.
They're happy.
That's
tears.
Beautiful. I'm really stoked for you, because how many people come in and they're estranged from their teenagers, and they want their teenagers to get therapy, and they want to get, and then all of a sudden you did the thing that most parents don't do, which is, I'm going to look at me. It takes a lot of courage for you to go, maybe I got to look at myself, it's me.
Yeah.
Hi.
And I remember telling you that, that's why I'm going to do it. And I know that I have to do it because I asked him to do it and he didn't want to talk to anybody. Oh, let's go talk to a therapist or something. And he didn't want to. So I knew I had to do it. And so that's been my most biggest win so far.
Amazing. So far, and it's ongoing, right? The work continues. We still have challenges, triggers, activations come up in relationships. Any other wins that you want to acknowledge within yourself? Or
yeah, with my daughter's dad, we stopped, arguing all the time. Every time we would communicate, it always seemed like both of us would go into defense mode, and it's like we were going the little thing you showed us, infinity loop thing of just yeah. So that's stopped.
Yeah, you stopped it. And look, these guys, they didn't have to do anything different.
I know.
You just shifted you.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a second. They didn't do any therapy. They didn't get treatment. You just shifted you. And what would you say to somebody who's like, wait a second, does that excuse other people's bad behavior? Why is it your fault? What would you say to them?
No, it doesn't excuse it, but it gives me the opportunity to either respond to it or not, to avoid rupture with them. It's not, I don't know, I think like it just depends on the situation and if I decide to entertain it or not, that's what would cause the rupture.
Your defensiveness would, you see, what I'm hearing is that there was, a trigger would come up, a conflict would come up, but you could choose whether you were going to throw gasoline on the flames or you could actually extinguish it, and you've learned how to extinguish it is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes.
I'm super duper proud of you. What would you tell somebody who's really clashing a lot with people who are close to them, whether they're co-parents, exes, partners, kids, and they're kind of thinking about doing this work and doing the work with us in the academy? What would you tell them?
Do it. Well, I tried actually. I didn't refer it, but I tried to like get on that pathway of telling my best friend because he's always having these problems with his girlfriend. And I'm just like, you guys have things going on that you're not aware of, and you guys are taking it out on each other, and like you guys are reflecting each other. Like somebody get some help. And he knows about what I've been like, talk to somebody, and
Beautiful.
he knows like that I've been doing this program, but I'm kind of like not trying to be pushy about it, but I am throwing it out there, like,
Totally.
This has been really working for me, and this is what I think. And
I just wanted to say I'm super duper stoked. You came in, you've been doing the work, you practice it, and your life is now a demonstration for it. So you're doing pretty awesome.